Hello there.
We're back with album review.
And I have returned.
Yeah, you weren't here last week.
It's self-titled, right?
Yes, this is Kansas' self-titled debut album from 1974. So, I don't have a lot of background for this, but I've already listened to every single Kansas album.
Really?
They were one of the artists I did back in the day, because I put these on my list in hype of, there was a tour coming in 2020 with Kansas, Foreigner, and Europe.
Oh, damn.
What a stacked lineup, right?
That's
And then COVID happened, so they canceled the show.
Damn.
But that's the reason I put Kansas on my list, and they're a prog rock group, which a lot of them from the time during the 70s were coming from England, like Pink Floyd and all those guys.
Right.
These guys came from, guess where, in the United States.
Kansas.
Yeah. And they had their own unique style because they incorporate a lot of violin into most of their albums. Some of them, it's a little lacking, but for the most part, that's sort of Kansas's thing, is having the violin. This is not their most famous album, also, because there's also other ones with bangers on it, like Carry On Wayward Son, like that's on a different album, but we'll talk about that at the end.
I gotta find the actual fucking... Alright, here we go. Now it's in order.
Okay.
I couldn't find it on...
I'll say one more thing about the album, too, about the cover itself, which, if you're an American history fan, you might have noticed something.
I was blown away by this, because my dad's got a big blue book of historical, like, things in American history,
yeah.
And that is, like, the first page
it's
in the transition.
The John Brown painting.
The Great American West.
Mm-hmm, because that was painted after Bleeding Kansas happened, which was right before the Civil War. In fact, he was hung because of his treachery to the Union, or the South, or whatever, because he was an abolitionist. And he was threatening the American freedom with slavery. You know how 1800s America is, but that's aside the point. Let's just go on to the album.
The first song is Can I Tell You?
That's probably one of my favorites. That's like the first one I really enjoyed off this album.
So, with no context of this album, because I've never heard this before.
Yeah.
Until today, actually.
Yeah.
I gotta say, this is a very interesting album with no, like, major hits that I'm privy to.
This doesn't have, like, any big hits off of it. This is all, like, sort of self-contained.
Do you know was there a single?
If there was, it'd probably be, like, Can I Tell You, or Bringing It Back, or something.
Gotcha.
But
they didn't really do singles back then, did they?
They did.
They did.
Singles was the thing.
Yeah, before that fucking they did 45s of the singles, and then on the back there would be like the bonus track of the 45.
Yeah,
but then when they had the full recorded album, it would be on vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
Or on record back then. They didn't say vinyl.
Yeah, because this is from 74, so...
Yeah.
Wait, what the fuck do we call it vinyl?
That's like a modern thing. I think it is made out of vinyl, but they called them records more than they did vinyls.
I knew that. I just didn't know the reason.
Or LPs.
Yeah, LPs. EPs and LPs are two different things. I think Long Project is the word for
I think
LP.
so. Something like that.
Experimental Project is
It's extended play.
Oh, extended play?
Yeah.
I
think this might be long.
Literally the first song, and we really have nothing about this fucking album, because we just went on a whole thing.
I said I liked the first song.
Don't ever say it that way ever again.
No, John, you never got the reference to JonTron?
No.
I'm gonna get sued by Kansas!
Whatever, we'll just move on.
Yeah, so, can I tell you? I dug it.
Yeah.
I thought this was a solid song.
Yeah, the first track is good.
Still the first song?
Well, we didn't finish our statements on it.
Oh.
Yeah, I like the...
good. I don't know.
Yeah. It's one of the shorter ones, but the next track, Bringing It Back, I really like that one, too.
Yeah.
Funny enough, the timestamp on that song, Bringing It Back, I think is exactly 3 minutes and 33 seconds. I see that number everywhere. Yeah, Bringing It Back is 3 minutes and 33 seconds.
Yeah, I like that one, too.
That's wild.
I love the singing in the song. I love the violin all over the song.
What's the 3 minutes 33 seconds?
The second song.
Bringing it back, you know.
Wait, what?
The second song is exactly 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Or 3 minutes and 33 seconds.
What was that?
It's a reference to me, because I see that number everywhere.
Ah.
Yeah, because you're a fucking witch.
I guess I have voodoo magic.
The next song.
Lonely Wind.
Wait,
this
we
is
passed the second song already?
Yeah. You're not into it right now. You're not vibing with us.
I'm really looking at the fucking thing.
We're not on the same wavelength, dude. The fuck is
You're
your
one
problem?
song
Dude,
behind.
I'm on like a different planet right now.
So, Lonely Wind, I feel like this is like
It's one of the chiller tracks.
Well, and not just that. I feel like this is like what they wanted planned for Dust in the Wind.
Maybe I could see that
Because the way it feels is like when Dust in the Wind came out. I guess this is like not a prelude, but the idea.
Yeah, I could see that honestly.
I dug it.
But I do like that third track. It's really mellow. It's really nice
This
to
is
listen to.
something
whole
you can sit on
album
your
is
back
like
porch.
just kind of like it didn't help. I listened to it at work.
Well, this is
So,
like.
I was hitting stakes in the ground hammer.
Well, it's an
This is
energetic
a lot-
album still.
It's energetic, but it's like more chill energetic.
Well, it's also progressive rock, which is not the most aggressive genre out there.
Prog,
No shit.
prog rock is something that started in the 70s.
Yeah.
This is like a 70s kind of thing that burst out into the mainstream. Because, like, one band that I know that's prog, but they're more metal, it's Dream Theater.
Yeah.
And it's kind of got the same vibe where, like, they have songs that are sometimes short, but they're super complex in orchestration.
This
But-
gives off a similar vibe
Yeah.
to that.
And also, a lot of this is, like, very string heavy. There's
Yeah.
violins, there's pianos, but it's not a string instrument.
Yes,
But
it
still.
is. Piano's a string instrument.
Real? Oh, I thought it was keys.
No. It's a
No,
string
it's
instrument because at least traditional pianos, not like synthesizers
Well,
and
if you
stuff.
take the keys off, it's all strings.
Yeah.
In the back.
It's pretty much
you don't
just a-
play it like a pick. You
Yeah,
don't
It's
pick
still
it like
technically a
guitar.
string instrument,
Yeah,
though.
it's pretty
God
much.
damn.
It's pretty much.
That's
like
why you didn't know that.
I was never. I
Yeah.
was always told they were keys. It's not string.
No, piano is literally just a weirdly shaped guitar. Or a guitar is
Oh
a
my
weirdly
God.
shaped piano.
Okay, well,
What?
that's not.
That's
let's
not
let's
how
go to
it
the
works.
next track.
Like, yeah. Moving on.
It's the same fucking thing.
Is it Blexus?
I never knew how to pronounce it. I pronounce it Belexis. This is another really good one, though.
Yeah. I dug it. Most of these the songs have a good vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Journey from
Bars.
Marigolarian.
Yeah, Maria Braun or something.
Mandalorian.
That's another short one, but I do really like this one too.
Mm-hmm.
There's not really much to say about some of these because
One thing
Some
I
are
got
short.
a lot of like when they did it go on their like real long violin, guitar, solo, and shit.
yeah.
It all started just to sound the same as the last one, like the last song.
I mean, it depends on the song. I do see that, but some of the songs I feel like I disagree with that.
Next is Pilgrimage.
The Pilgrimage is a good one. This is probably like the last like short-ish one. I know this
Yeah.
one was a little
The next few songs become more of
The
the
next few-
prog. This
Yeah,
is
the
where
last two
fucking-
tracks are like the
Yeah,
big
they're wicked
ones.
fucking
The long,
long.
big ones as in longer length.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like I've listened to bands with 13-minute songs like Tool.
Yeah.
And that is a fucking endurance to listen to songs
Mhm.
like that. But I'm not used to it because Metallica's got 7 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
And, like all the
I'm
metal
not-
bands that I like, they have songs of this length, and it's
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm used to this.
Which I guess we'll get right into the next track, which is
Apricot.
Apricot, or however you pronounce that.
It's not
That's
apricot, it's apricot.
apricot. That's
Apricot.
That's
It's
a fruit. This
So-
is like the longest track on the album. It clocks in at over 9 minutes,
Oh damn.
and it falls.
Fucking long as shit.
But I love the what's it called? The instrumentals in this. It's very
Yeah.
well organized. It sounds really nice.
Yo, these guys are I didn't even mention this, but like a lot of these guys, they are goofy looking farm kids, and I love it.
You know, they came from Topeka, Kansas. Topeka, how's it pronounced?
Topeka.
Topeka, yeah. Very cool that you have someone come out of middle America, like, where
And
there's not much going on at
blue
all.
collar boys coming out of nowhere making music.
Yeah. Which leads into the last track, Death of Mother Nature Suite. This is another really good one. This one talks a lot about
It's like sad.
It's kind of a depressing one, but it still has those upbeat instrumentals to kind of show all the chaos in what's going on in their
Okay.
songs, like what they're talking about. Because like this one's about like the environment and like how shit has been hitting the fan. Like the 70s is when people started paying attention to this
Yeah.
because the
I was gonna say,
EPA was founded.
I don't think this is the first time people have mentioned like
No, but
that in music in this era.
that was mentioned throughout the 60s and stuff, but this
Yeah.
is when like America started saying we give a shit about the environment. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's cool though. I really like this track, and when I went back to this album, I guess we'll do final thoughts now.
Yeah.
I did not expect. I liked this album when I first listened to it, but now that I've re-listened to it, I love this album. it's probably not everyone's like cup of tea, but something about it, it's just really good. I love the instrumentals, especially the uniqueness with the violin. The violin sounds, it kicks ass. Like most of the instrumentals and like just the songs just kick ass.
This is something that I'm not used to listening to. Oh, actually, I lie. I have heard music like this before in my childhood, so this is kind of like a very sweet memory, and also hearing something that you don't hear often.
Yeah.
Like, if they were playing songs live, they would probably bring, play songs off this album.
Yeah, like, especially the first two.
Middle of the road, or not middle of the road, middle of like the set. They would probably play some of this. But I enjoyed it for what it's worth. This is a very interesting album. Very, I don't know the words to describe it.
Again, it is their first.
This is like a thought-provoking album.
Yeah.
This is something that's cool instrumentally that people were probably jamming to in the 70s, getting hippie with it, just vibing out.
Yeah. Jake, final thoughts?
Yeah. What do you got, Jake?
What'd you think of this album?
The Kansas.
It was good. The violin, some songs felt like it was starting to be overused.
Well, that's their whole vibe, dude.
That's their thing.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Is like incorporating violins into their songs. Like, even on their later albums, like, in their middle of the road albums, which are their most famous ones, like Left Overture, there's violin on that album. There's Point of No Return, probably their biggest album. That's got violin on it.
Yeah.
So, like, and a lot of their albums throughout, like, the 80s.
It almost felt like some of the songs, like, I guess, yeah, it's prog rock. Not even listen to a really long song. It almost sounded like they all kind of blended in together, kind of, and started to sound the same over time.
A little, but I think I still disagree with
There's
that.
still creative nature to it. Like, there's stop and go parts where it's like, oh, that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
Well, and also that's coming from a musician standpoint.
Yeah. But I'll say one more thing before I give my scores. It's just that I really recommend this album, and I do recommend a lot of Kansas's music, especially like this album's good. Their second album, Songs, I think it's called Songs for America. That one, it's kind of like this one, long songs, not a lot of songs, but still really good. If you want something that's easier to listen to but also banging, I recommend the hit ones, like Left Overture with Carry On Wayward Son, and like all those tracks, and Point of No Return. And
now you're just being a dick.
And I say, even their 80s stuff is really good, but the 70s is their peak.
Yeah.
And I did not expect to give it this score. I'm going to give it a 9.
Oh, shit.
It's a great album, though. I highly recommend it. Is it their best? Maybe, probably not, but it's still one of their best.
I believe you on the yellow flannel.
You're a dick. I'm going to give this a solid 8. As a first album, I don't know if this is like, in terms of the history behind it, I don't know where it landed. I mean, obviously it landed them somewhere, because this is like their legacy starts here. But the music was wonderful. It's a very well orchestrated group of guys. They all have their own unique fucking attributes that incorporate well with the band. And it's an overall wonderful sound. And it's also something that's like eye-opening to the public at that point.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of people heard something like this, probably.
Outside like your British prog rock and stuff like that.
At this length, yeah.
Yeah.
Jake?
7.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so 987.
I expected him to go lower, honestly.
Sweet. Well, that's cool.
It was vibe.
Yeah, it's got a vibe.
Yeah.
Not my first go-to, but...
Well, yeah. There's other Kansas albums I still like over this one, but it's still a really, really good album.
Okay. Now it's time. It's a 50-50 shot.
We're flipping a coin again? Why?
Because I have a hard time doing this, and there's 2 albums of 2 bands we haven't done. Power Slave!
Oh, fuck yeah!
Or Undertow.
Oh, I've done both of these artists, so I'm fine with either.
Heads is Power Slave, Tails is fucking Undertow.
Oh.
We're doing Undertow.
Oh, fuck yeah! That's a great album.
Fucking sweet.
Undertow?
Finally, we get to do Tool's cool album.
Oh.
Tool's first album.
Yeah. Technically,
Oh,
the
is that
first
the one with
mainstream album.
Sober on it?
Yeah.
Yes.